don't be afraid to reach out and ask questions. I'm happy to answer questions. And it really works.
Today we have an awesome author with us. He's actually on the USA Today bestseller list. So I'm really excited to talk to him with Quantum Accountability. Dr. Kevin Kremer, thank you for coming today.
Thank you, Jen. It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, tell us a little bit about how or when you first decided you wanted to write a book.
Gosh, it's a tough one. It's like kind of what I talk about in the book. It's like your mindset, and it goes into who you spend your time with, who you're hanging out with. And I was hanging out with a group of people, and as you develop in your career, I've always been one that does a lot of thinking time and develops like processes and principles that I would roll out in my company. Like, okay, here's a great principle. Here's a how to. This is what we're going to do. So I'd always was creating documents. And then I remember at one point, maybe 5 years ago, some people were saying, well, at this stage in your game, everybody's got at least one great book in them, and it made me think. And I think that was kind of the light bulb turning point where, because I've never thought of myself as an author, clearly not a writer. I was more a math science, not an English guy in high school. So, yeah, so it's just kind of one of those mindset, who you're hanging out with, light bulb goes off. Well, I created a ton of processes over the years I'm a consummate reader of books. So that's kind of where it came from.
Awesome. Well, I love that. And I know you're a serial entrepreneur and you're also a dentist and you do the whole mouth, the veneer stuff. Like you've been doing all these different things. So I love that you came together and said, what would I write my book on? And, a lot of dentists probably, you'd think, oh, they're just going to write a book about dentistry or whatever, right? But you wrote a book about quantum accountability, which is leadership. And I love that now you have your Leadership Institute. We talked earlier on our other podcast, Elite Expert Insider, but I love that you just said, okay, we're going to write this book. So tell us, how did it go when you started writing? Did you type it? Did you just use all your documents and repurpose them? And how did you come up with the content and write the book?
So I'm a visual person. I'm kind of visionary. So I did mind mapping with all these and trying to connect them and then put them into outline form. And then I find, for me personally, I'm better at talking out my thoughts. And so I would use, a word that would record me speaking to put things out. And then I would work with an editor to make it actually appropriate English, if you will. And then, I was working with an editor for a while, and then I was asking my wife to read it because she actually has a background in master's in education and has published books in teaching industry. I said, hey, could you look this over? And then she started editing it more and getting more involved. And so then I had her self-author or co-author this as well. So she was the final, master touch on it.
I like that. And having people in your corner that know that, like editing and writing, is really good. I like that you talked your book, because that's how I did my book. So all the books that I have, I talked them. We use Otter. Otter.ai was one of the apps we used.
Yeah.
There's other ones out there. Fathom now is a good one on Zoom. We use Fathom for all our note taking, which I think can do similar things as Otter. But I love that using tools like AI tools, or using tools to help you to write it, is good, because it's just about how do we get the thoughts out on paper, whether it's writing it down or talking it out or typing it out. I think that's really key.
So I think it's an important distinction, like utilizing something to record your words versus we wanted to make sure this book was human made and it wasn't AI made. So we didn't use AI to like provide content and filler. It was all our thoughts. But I understand using an AI tool to record the information or put it down in writing is very valuable.
Yeah, it's important nowadays. I mean, I know, as a publisher, they actually ask you when you're publishing a book, did you use the AI to do this book, right? So I think it's important for people to realize if they are going to use AI, that you have to edit it and change it up. You can't just use word for word what AI gives you. But using tools like Otter and apps and stuff to help you is good as well. I know actually Google has a feature where you can just talk and it types it out. One time I broke my wrist, and so it was hard to type, and I found that it has a lot of features for people who you can just talk, and it's not quite as good as Otter, but it was close enough. So that's good. So
Huh.
how did you publish your book? Did you get a traditional publisher? Did you self-publish? How did you go about figuring that out?
We did a hybrid model. So, as far as traditional publishers, I was told that they can take a long time and take a few years. And so, did a hybrid model where we worked with, I think, Strong Printing and Ingram, and they put it out in Barnes and Noble, Amazon. So, I didn't feel like I really knew enough about it to self publish
Mhm.
it. So, but with Barnes and Noble and Amazon, yeah, it became a bestseller right away. And it was really neat to see.
That's awesome. Yeah, I see on your Amazon it shows that it's a USA Today bestseller. So that's a fun thing to be able to say you're a bestseller, and I'm sure that helps with getting speaking gigs and different things. Has your book helped you because of your book? Like, what has happened since your book's been out?
Yeah, it's definitely creating heightened awareness. Are people actually reading books these days? I mean, the research on the percentage of books that are actually finished is pretty dismal. So, I mean, being a first book, I would say it might be too long. It's 310 pages, I believe. And a lot of people in today's day, the attention spans are getting shorter. But always found that successful people read. One of my old adages I would tell my kids is successful people read and poor people watch TV. And it's so easy to just watch, entertainment. That's fun to do and I love to as well. But gosh, really being disciplined in reading, I think has always been a big part of my life. And so, yeah, it was quite a project and a lot of work, but I'm really happy that we did it. And it definitely is creating, to go back to answering your question, heightened awareness around, what I do and my belief systems.
Yeah, that's great. How long do you think it took you total from the process of like, you know, first deciding I wanted to write the book to it was published and on Amazon or on Barnes and Noble and everywhere books are sold? Because I know you use Ingram, which we use as well because there's a lot of stores out there besides Amazon.
Yeah. Oh gosh. So it was a good 3 years. And I think for me, having accountability partners and really someone to help with, I like to have accountability partners in the sense of, okay, let's fit this into my schedule. Because if we don't make time for something, and so I kind of had to block out time where, okay, I'm going to be working on the book on these specific. And so it was a good few years in developing it. I mean, I've had friends tell me these crazy stories. Oh, yeah, I wrote that book in a weekend. It's like, oh, that wasn't me.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you did a lot of research and put a lot of thought and things into your book too. And it seems like a really good quality book. What surprised you the most about publishing or having your book published? What surprised you the most?
That with even though it's a lot of work and time, effort, and energy, that I still want to do more. And I realized that in my awareness model with the quantum accountability to action to abundance, this is now going to be the first of a trilogy, and I'm going to write the next two books with my wife. So, yeah, I think that's
That's
been
great.
surprising.
Yeah, that's great. If you could give one piece of advice to the readers, what would you tell them?
Don't be afraid to reach out and ask questions. I'm happy to answer questions. And I mean, it really works. You really can help script your life as far as who you want to become and where you want to go. If you,
Awesome. And where can people go to get your book, Quantum Accountability, and to learn more about leadership and success and how to achieve?
well, I mean, most people go to Amazon these days. That's the easiest answer. It's at Barnes and Noble as well, but most people use Amazon. I think it's well liked on as well, but I don't know
Mhm.
where people are getting the books when they're rating it on Goodreads. So,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
man.
Amazon bought Goodreads a while ago. So,
Oh, is that
so
right?
yeah,
That
but
doesn't
that's okay.
surprise me.
Yeah. Well, tell people where they get more information. Is it on LinkedIn or your email? How would you like them to
Yeah.
contact
So
you?
You can find me on LinkedIn and we can connect there. Easier is just email me directly at my first name, Kevin, Kevin, at the company here, kramerleadership.com. So without the institute, kramerleadership.com, and it's Kremer. So Kevin at kramerleadership.com.
Awesome. We'll put that up in the show notes. Thank you so much for being on the show today and helping our authors and entrepreneurs help learn more about book publishing and how you did your book.
It's my pleasure, Jen. Thanks for having me.
Great. Thanks, everyone. Please like and subscribe, and please share this podcast with someone who you know it would benefit. And leave a comment. Let us know what you liked best about this podcast, what you liked about Kevin's book. Go and get Dr. Kevin Kramer's book on Amazon or anywhere books are sold. Talk to you guys soon.
If you want to write a book and become a best-selling author, you're in the right place. At Elite Online Publishing, we can help you create, publish, and market your book so that it becomes a #1 bestseller. We work with a limited number of authors to ensure that they receive the best possible service. So if you want to learn how to write and publish a book that will empower you to smartly grow your brand, business, and credibility, apply today. We look forward to working with you.